that I used. And then along kind of the same lines, but a little flimsier, I just wanted to see, I found these folders at Walmart, and I cut it in half. You can see it used to be, you know, a child's folder. It was $1, and you could probably get them for cheaper if you looked. So when you cut it in half, it ends up being about 50 cents for the sheet. Now these are a little more flimsy than the previous two, than the plaid or the impact frosted covers. But it seemed to cut a little easier. Here we have at 400 with 1 cut and 400 with 2 cut. And I'm going to pop it out for you and see how it does. That popped out, not quite as nicely as that last one, but the pressure wasn't as high either. So you could use these if you wanted to. Again, they're a little flimsier, but, you know, for 50 cents a sheet, you can get a stencil out of it, and then you could probably get a bunch of small stencils out of this piece, too. You could also just slice it down here and make it a little bit longer so you could get one longer stencil. So those come out to about 50 cents per sheet, and they came out all right. Okay, I have one more sample here before I get on to my favorite, and these I did... they're plastic dividers, and they're kind of along the same lines. They're the frosted. They're kind of frosted and actually quite thick and nice. You get them at Office Max, or actually, I know I got these at Walmart. I take that back. They're Avery Style Edge insertable plastic dividers. You get 8 of them per sheet per package. And they're $3.80 for the pack. So that comes out to 50 cents per stencil or per divider per sheet. How did they cut? Let's see. Didn't even pop these out yet. 400. I don't think I did 500 here, but here I did it 3 times at 400, and it doesn't want to pop out real easily. So, you know, maybe this isn't the best bet for you unless you want to go a little higher pressure and maybe even try 4 times. Otherwise, I'd probably stay away from those. All right, on to my favorite. My favorite thing by far I did was the thermal laminating pouches by GBC. My guess would be you could use whatever brand you wanted to. Depending what brand you go with and how many per pack, this one has 50 per pack. They range from 10 cents per sheet to 30 cents per sheet, depending what brand you go with. What I did with my little experiment with these, and obviously you have to have a laminating machine to use these. I don't have one, so I ran over and borrowed my neighbor's, but I'm going to be getting one because I really like the way these worked. Let me show you my little experiments with these. The first time, not knowing any better, we ran it through with nothing in the middle. And here's what happened. Not so good. Just crunches up because it doesn't have anything to hold to. So you definitely have to put something into them before you laminate them. The second thing we did was we put one little strip down the edge of paper. This is cardstock. And that was enough for it to grip, and it made it not get all crumply. It got a little crumply, but not too bad. Now, I don't know if you can see, but let's see if I can position this here. I cut out a little flourish and my little test squares here. Now, these were cut at 400 pressure. This was cut once. This was cut twice. This was cut twice. And they popped out equally as well. Even just the one time did really well. Then I actually cut my test square onto the paper, thinking, this might be a good idea because this is a little more sturdy. I did it right here. This is one time at 400 and it didn't work. I lowered my blade a little more because I had forgot to check that. And here I did it at maybe even 350. 2 times, and it popped right out really nicely. So I thought, okay, that's not bad. I mean, those you can get those for 10 cents a sheet. So maybe we're on to something here. And then I went and I did a full sheet of white, just white copy paper, and I laminated that. And right now it's in my cutting machine, and we're going to take it out and see how it did. Now I when I cut it, I actually sealed it down with some tape because it was kind of thick, and I tend to do that when I'm cutting thicker materials. Let's see if I can get this. Get the thing up from the tape. This tape is kind of sticky stuff. Oh, wow. It looks like it cut beautifully. Tape is maybe another story. There we go. Okay. Let's get this out of there. Now, let's see if you can see. If I can get this so you can see. Oh, maybe not. Can you hear my little guy who's supposed to be sleeping for a nap? Up, screaming for me? Now, let me get my... this is how I tend to do these and see how the stencil works. I just run it around the edge. Now this was cutting one time, and I want to say at 350 pressure. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm seeing this with you. Wow, fun. And look at all the little, just cut the little extra holes out there. The only thing that looks like it might have struggled a little, no, it's just going to need a little, I'm not going to do it with you on here. I just am going to need to maybe take a little time getting the spiral out here. But look at this, is my stencil. Look how well that came out. And this will cost me 10 cents plus a piece of paper. Plus borrowing my neighbor's laminating machine. Oh, forgot to pop one out there. Was this one pass? I want to say this was one pass. I did not do 2 passes with this. And look how well it cut. Yay! Anyway, this is my little sample on all the materials you can make stencils with. You can find this stencil right here. I'll be listing it up to the Visual Designs by Chris store very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.